Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sunniva.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're taking a look at hats.
Which is a game, not something you wear on your head.
Yes, both. Yeah.
It is both, but this time it's a game.
Yes.
It was really strange that this video we're looking at hats.
Yes.
You would be surprised. But we are looking at a game called Hats. And this is designed by Gabriele Bubola and released by Thunder Griff Games. This is a small little card game based on kind of the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. So let's go down to the table and see how it plays.
Hats is a small card game where you're trying to be the player who scores the most points by playing these cards and collecting sets of different colored hats. You're also going to try to win a cookie, because it has to be a cookie in a tea party, which this is. So, the way this game plays is like this. You have 9 cards in your hand, and you're going to play 8 of them. That means the game is going to last 8 rounds. On my turn, I'm going to have to take one of the cards, and then have to switch it with one of these cards out on the table. I can do this in 2 different ways. I can either switch the same color for the same color, or I can switch with any color if my card is numbered higher than the color the card is out on the table. So let's say I want to switch this 5 for this 4, for example. I would take that, and then I would take this and put it in front of me. That's one of the things you can do in the game. The other thing you can do is to just take one of your cards, turn it around, and make it into a black hat. Also, on your round or on your turn, you can also do one other thing. You can take one of your cards. I don't want this card. You can discard it, and you can draw another card from the face down deck. You're going to continue doing this until you have played all your 8 of your cards. So let me say I end up getting these. This is obviously not how the game would end, but I'm just going to show you. Let's say I ended up like this, and like this, and like this. And that's how the game ended for me. And now we're going to score. Then we're going to take this beautiful little napkin, we turn it over, and here you have the scoring. And the way the scoring works is pretty cool. You're going to start over here, and each color out here can only be here once. That means it's going to be pretty okay here, especially, but not for this pink. Because the pink is over here, you're going to move, and the pink here is going to be turned over. And how this works now is basically like this. Every player who has a pink card in front of them, all the pink cards are worth 1 point. The purple is worth 2 points, and so on up to this orange, which is worth 6 points. And these black hats are worth 1 point. And then you're going to reveal the card you have in your hand. This is going to be your favorite hat type. So this is the brown card, which is my favorite. And then I'm going to count up all the brown ones here, which is 15. And I'm going to subtract the one I have here, which is a 1. That means I'm going to get 14 points for my favorite hats. You're going to put this together, and also the player who has the most different colors of hat, including the black hat, will get this cookie, which is worth 5 points, but I wouldn't think you should eat it because it looks good, but I don't think it's really good. After that, the player with the most points is the winner of hats. As always, let's start by looking at the artwork and components. What do you think?
I think the artwork is amazing.
It is.
I love the
Double
artwork.
thumbs up.
Yes, and the components that they actually made a little cookie, that's totally unnecessary.
There is a cookie in the game.
They made it. And also I love that the box looks like a book. Sometimes I get fooled that is not a book, so I think that's nice. And also I like the cover, and I really like the cover on the rules. You have it in your eye. Yes.
Eye cookie.
I really love the artwork in this game. I just can't say it enough. And I also like the different colored that's nasty. Yeah, the different colored cards that they have, like like hats with a fairy tale theme on them. I like that.
Lots of different fairy tales in this. I also really, I was just joking around because I just have anything to add, because this game just looks beautiful.
Yes.
The components are just amazing, and the production is through the roof. I really like it. I think it is really, really good.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's just jump ahead to ease of learning from the rules. That's just nothing to say. This is a super simple game. This is the rule book. It's like this.
But is it a good rule book?
It is a good rule book. The game is super simple to learn. So let's talk about playtime and player count. We have played this with 2 and 3 players. We have not played with 4. With 4 you are playing like a team version, and we haven't done that. So we have only played 2 and 3, which works basically the same.
Yeah.
feels kind of the same.
It feels kind of the same. I think it's different with the difference with 3 players is that more happens between your turns.
Yes.
So more on the table could change, and that is interesting. But I love the game with 2 as well.
And also you have more different types of hats when you play with 3 players.
Yeah,
that's the only huge difference.
Yeah.
The game is super short. The game is about 15 minutes long. That is both with 2 players and 3 players. It took about 15 minutes to play the game. So that's something you can play all the time, like super simple, small filler game, super simple, super quick, good with both player counts. We haven't played 4 with the theme version, but I'm guessing that's going to work well as well. So let's talk about complexity. This game is, by the rules, a super simple game.
Yeah, it is. And when you start with playing it, it looks kind of nice, and you get into the game, and you're just like, whoa, now I'm not getting any points. This is how I get points. This is more strategic, tactical maybe than I thought. More complex.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is one of those games that has a lot of game in 15 minutes. Like, it's not really complex, but it is like you have to think, and it's more than like one of those 15 minutes card game where you're just playing cards and not thinking. You have to think about what your opponents are going to do. It's a really fun game. It is a super light game, like, don't get us wrong, but there is depth here for such a light game.
Yeah, and I really like that it only takes 15 minutes to play, and also have this kind of, I wouldn't say like complex depth, but still meaningful decisions, and sometimes just like, to get this card that I have on my hand into my tableau, it has to go out on the, like, what call it?
On the table.
Yeah, on the table. And then you're just like, but if someone grabs it, and then you have to manage what you get points for, that's really interesting.
Absolutely. So it is a light game, but it has some hidden complexity, some hidden depth.
Yes.
That's basically the conclusion of that, right? Yeah. So gameplay and fun factor. Is it fun to play? And how is the gameplay?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's super fun. When we played it the first time, I was blown away, actually. Yes. It was far past my expectations, not that I expected anything, but it looks so good, and it goes so fast, and you're just like, oh, now I get it. I want to play it again.
Yes, I was kind of, as you said, I was expecting a little super light card game with just like some decisions and some points, and I got this, which is super cool. This feels like kind of the lighter version of Arboretum. You haven't played Arboretum, but it's not like Arboretum at all, but it feels kind of that way with the scoring happening and the card you have left in your hand, which you use your favorite hats. It just, some things about it makes me think about Arboretum, and this is kind of like an even lighter game. So if you want someone to play Arboretum and you need like a step in between, play hats. It's super fun, and it's just so quick, so there's like really no reason not to play it. I just think it has a high fun factor for this small little game, which is just, it's just fun.
Yeah, I agree. And most of my problems with like card games is the luck of the draw, and that wouldn't be a problem in this game actually, because it's so fast. But like, in addition to the cards you have to make your strategy based on, you can actually just switch out cards if you're really unlucky, and I love that.
Absolutely. I think also that it is super. I think it's really interesting for what it is. I have fun when playing it. I like that it's kind of a lot of interaction here, because I can see that you're going for the blue cards, and there's only one blue card out, and it's on the 5th space. I can switch that out. But then I have this blue card that doesn't really give me anything. So it's kind of like, it's really those interesting decisions that just grows on you when you're playing this game, which makes it super fun to play. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's like baseline, it's fun.
It's fun. So fun.
Yeah. So replayability. What do you think?
I haven't actually thought so much about it, because it's a card game.
It's a 15-minute card game. Like, it's probably going to feel kind of the same every time you play it. Yeah. But it's going to be a 15-minute card game with decision that's interesting. So I think the replayability really depends on how much you like the game.
Yeah, actually.
It's nothing different. The game is the same every time. So replayability, I would say, depends on if you like the game. If you really like the game, you can play it a lot. If you don't like the game, you're probably just going to sell it. Yeah. So replayability is what it is.
Yeah.
So we are now back to final thoughts. Not back. We are at final thoughts.
Yes.
Do you want to start?
Yes, I can do that. I think this is going to be one of my go-to games for like, we're not in the mood for a heavy game. we're just the two of us. Let's do a 15-minute game. Before we used to have like Lost Cities and Jaipur and stuff like that. I think this is going to be one of my new favorites to just drag out when we're feeling kind of lazy, but also want to think a little. Yes. So I think my scoring for this actually is an 8.
That's really, really cool. I love this. This is so far the biggest surprise for me for 2019. Most of the games I really love or really like are games that I have put time into looking at and like looking forward to. This was sent to us from the publisher, and we just loved it. It's just super duper fun. I'm also gonna give it an 8. It is such a fun, small little card game. With us, I've said it a lot of times already, I know it, but it just, when you play this game the first time, you're gonna be like, so that's what they meant. And I really think that this is a game you should own, because you can play 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players. It's probably not really an expensive game because it's so small. You can play it in 15 minutes. It's beautiful components. People are gonna be like, "Oh, I want to play this."
Yeah.
You can get other people to play it because of the theme. Really, really great game, which I recommend. I give it an 8 as well.
Yes.
So that is the end of the review. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so now, because it's free and it's fun, and you will get more videos like this with us rambling into a camera about board games, because we love board games.
Yes, we do.
So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.